Hi everyone, hope you're doing well today. So let's do some chanting. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Dutayambe Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Dutayambe Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Dutayambe Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Tatayambe Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Tatayambe Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Tatayambe Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the six paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I'm enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the six paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I'm enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the six paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May they be free from suffering and its causes. May they never be parted from the happiness beyond suffering. May they abide in equanimity, free of bias, attachment to the near, and aversion from the far. I shall cause this. Great compassionate Buddha, please inspire me to be able to do so. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and present clouds of every type of offerings, actual and mentally transformed. I confess all of my negative actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in all the virtues of all holy and ordinary beings. Please remain until cyclic existence ends, and turn the wheel of Dharma for all sentient beings. I dedicate the virtues of myself and others to the great enlightenment. However innumerable all sentient beings are, I've had to save them all. However inexhaustible my delusions are, I've had to extinguish them all. However immeasurable the Dharma teachings are, I've had to master them all. However endless the Buddha's way is, I've had to follow it completely. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Tayata Gate Gate Parasam Gate Bodhisu. Tayata Gate Gate Parasam Gate Bodhisu. Tayata Gate Gate Parasam Gate Bodhisu. So, it's time for meditation now. Meditation time. I just thought I'd wear these today, my big beads. A gift to me from one of my masters, Master Tik Kuan Lian, the master's master. And so I guess in relation to the lineage and so forth. And so they're quite large around. I tend to not wear a lot of things like this. I tend to be more simple. But I saw them in the cupboard the other day, in my bag, one of my bags for traveling. And I thought, you know what, I'll wear them, give you a surprise, give you something special. A lot of chanting being done. There's sandalwood and they smell beautiful. They smell much better than I do, that's for sure. Yum. So anyway, meditation. Before meditation, we can bring to mind that it is Vesak week this week. I think the 23rd, if I remember correctly. So 5 days ahead, away. Birth of the Buddha, enlightenment of the Buddha, parinirvana of the Buddha. Okay, so he was born, Prince Siddhartha, and attained enlightenment, become a Buddha, fully enlightened Buddha at 35 years old, and then taught for 45 years and passed away 80 years old. Okay, so which is quite old for those days, apparently. Okay, so of course he passed away due to our karma, due to the good karma running out for human beings in that part of the world, at that time. Okay, so anyway, meditation. Just forget everything I just said. We'll talk a little bit more about Vesak after meditating. Bring your mind inside your body, and let's release the tension from the body, if we have any. And if we can release it, we should release it. So bring your mind inside your body, closing your eyes, lips gently touching, tongue resting on the upper palate in the mouth. Like I said, bring your mind inside the body, starting from the bottom of the body, and work your way up to the top. Releasing the tension as you go. So let's take a few moments to do this now. So now scan your body once more to see if there's any leftover tension that you can release. And when you are ready, bring your focus to the tip of your nose initially. And the meditation object is the feeling of the breath as you breathe in your nose, all the way into your lungs, and then back out your nose again. So breathing in and breathing out. Focusing on the breath is all you have to do mentally right now. And of course, recognize when the mind wanders from the breath, and then replace it back onto the breath at that time. So if thoughts arise or any mental activity arises, don't cling to it. Don't grasp at it. Also, don't try to force it away or deny it. But simply replace your mind back onto your breath. So let go of those thoughts or the mental activity at that time by replacing your mind back onto your breath. And if your mind starts to become dull or sleepy, then replace your mind back onto your breath more brightly. You might also like to add the extra technique of counting the breaths from 1 to 10. Don't count past 10. And if you get distracted while counting towards 10, go back to 1 at that time. So let's practice like this in silence for a little bit. So now we can feel very pleased with ourselves for engaging in the practice and fill ourselves with universal loving kindness. Fill your whole being with this universal loving kindness. Utilize the visualization technique of filling your whole being with the white light or nectar. Fill yourself with friendship, appreciation, respect, gratitude, so on. Fill yourself with so much loving kindness that it now overflows and radiates outwards, initially to your loved ones, your family, your friends, filling them with the universal loving kindness as well. Have the wish that they be happy, free from suffering, and be peaceful. Now also include strangers. Fill them with the universal loving kindness as well, in the form of the white light or nectar. May they also be happy, free from suffering, and be peaceful. Now also include those you may regard as enemies. Fill them with the universal loving kindness as well. May they all be happy, all of these people. May they be free from suffering, and may they be peaceful. So let's now extend beyond just human beings to all living beings now, whether you know about them or not. Starting around your immediate area initially, all the living beings that live in the waters, on the land, fly through the air, whether they're born from wombs, eggs, moisture, or through transformation. Whether they're in this realm, the animal realm, the heaven realms, and so on. Whether you know about these realms or not. Now radiate the love and kindness out throughout your whole state or county to all the living beings. And other states and counties throughout your whole country. And other countries throughout the world. Initially, those you have an affinity towards, then those you're indifferent towards, and to those as well that you may have some sort of negative feelings towards. And have your loving kindness pervade throughout the whole world, throughout all of the oceans and so on, down to the core of the earth, to the outermost atmosphere. And beyond this planet alone, throughout the whole solar system. And the whole galaxy. And throughout this universe and beyond. Until your loving kindness pervades throughout infinite space. Be present here and now too, to recite the dedication prayer. Due to this merit, may I soon attain the enlightened state of the Buddha, so that I may be able to liberate all sentient beings from their suffering. May the precious bodhicitta, not yet born, arise and grow. May that born have no decline, but increase forevermore. And may the precious view of shunyata, not yet born, arise and grow. May that born have no decline, but increase forevermore. And so, like I was sharing these with you, these beads, given to me, I think, sometime around 2000 as encouragement to practice. So now I show them to you to encourage you to practice. remind you to practice. I do have a lot of beads, but like I said, I don't tend to wear them very often. And I gave a lot to my mom and my dad. My dad used to wear them all the time. Normally, for some traditions, you only wear them around your neck when you're a teacher or something like that. Otherwise, you put them around your wrist. But in Tibetan tradition and some other traditions as well, doesn't matter. You can just wear them. Do so with no ego. Give up pride. Do it humbly, you know, the modesty and stuff like that, those good qualities. And they're there to remind you, you know, apart from counting the beads, you know, if you're reciting mantras or prayers or whatever, it's really there to remind you to practice the Dharma. Just like the robes are, you know, just like our clothes are, can remind us to be moral, remind us to practice the meditation and mental development, remind us to become more wise, compassionate, and so on. And the same it can be said about Vesak. So I say to you now, happy Vesak for, I think, Wednesday or something. Okay, so it can remind us to practice, you know. The birth of the Buddha can remind you to practice how fortunate we are, you know, to have a Buddha born and give the teachings in this world. Not that long ago, really. Sounds like a long time compared to a human life, for instance, over 2,600 years ago. But compared to the cosmos, it's tiny, a little speck of time. Then, of course, attain enlightenment and give the teachings. We are so fortunate to have the Buddha, Dharma, and spiritual community, Sangha, around, of which we're all part of, the Sangha, by the way. Sangha doesn't just mean monks and nuns and teachers. Sangha is everybody who practices the Dharma, who chooses to practice the Dharma. We have what we call the fourfold Sangha. So the monks, the nuns, the female lay people, and the male lay people. Upasika, Upasaka, and also bhikkhu and bhikkhuni. You know, so a lot of people, I don't know when it crept in over recent times, probably, maybe a couple of 100 years or something, where people just think Sangha just means monks and nuns, you know, the ordained Sangha. But actually, like I said, it's everybody who practices the Dharma. And actually, you can even go beyond that. And you can say everybody in the world, including the animals and the insects and other realms of existence, are all part of Sangha. They all have the potential to attain enlightenment. You know, they have the potential to eventually practice Dharma and eventually lead to enlightenment. You know, so we can see all living beings as Buddhas. We can see all living beings as realizing the Dharma, the truth, and see all living beings as part of the Sangha. But of course, that's a vast view. Right now, easier just to think the Buddha, one Buddha from those years ago, and then the Dharma, his teachings, many different methods taught for the different types of living beings and people, and the Sangha, supportive community, you know, the harmonious supportive community that help us to practice, teach us, and so forth. So I think it's good for reminding. It's another reason why I wore these beads today, to sort of segue into the Vesak sort of encouraging us to practice more. These beads reminding us to practice more, you know. These floppy sort of sleeves here reminding me to practice more. Sometimes they get in the way, you know, try to roll them up, can't roll them up. You know, maybe I'm washing dishes or something. A cup, actually just a little bit before, I washed Mum's cup from her coffee and got a little bit wet, reminding me to practice Dharma. Also reminded me to keep my sleeves up when I've got water around. And anyway, so Vesak reminds you to practice Dharma, okay? After an extraordinary dream came to be, the queen had conceived and was with child. All rejoiced in anticipation of the coming royal birth. Peace and love reigned throughout the nation, heaven and earth. So the queen and attendants began their journey to her childhood home, as was the way in days gone by. As they reached the gardens of Lumbini, filled with flowers and singing birds, the moon was shining brightly high in the sky. Knowing her time was near, she said, I can't go on no more. Lay me down by the bank and to give birth by the shore. All rejoiced in anticipation As she leaned against a knowing tree, the prince was born in that moment, painlessly. Heavenly music filled the air. Heavenly flowers rained down upon the earth. Moon was shining brightly high in the sky. I already said that, didn't I? Peace was felt throughout the land. Earth stood still with understanding, and nature smiled. Or something like that. Okay, I'll go past that a little bit. Amazingly, the child did stand, took 7 steps, and with each appeared a lotus flower. All rejoiced with realization this was no ordinary child, as he so boldly proclaimed. I am the high, this is my last birth. I am the foremost in this world. I will lead and guide you. I am the highest. Now there is no rebirth for me. I will teach the truth. It seemed all of nature knew the child born that day would be the man to show the way to set us free. So let us live with love and patience and understanding in all relations, and so on. Sorry, I forgot the lyrics there in the second verse or second chorus area. How does it go, actually? Leaned against a knowing tree, painlessly. Heavenly music filled the air. Heavenly flowers rained down upon the earth. Rainbows appeared in the sky. That peace was felt throughout the lands. The earth stood still with understanding, and nature smiled. There you go. I did remember. So that's my birth song that I wrote in 2010. That, as you remember, 2 years ago, I gave commentary on this song and some other songs too. So then, of course, we have the Enlightenment, and that is the Enlightenment song, or the Enlightenment and the Teaching song, is the darkness of ignorance had been dispelled and the light of knowledge had arisen. He had finally realized the truth. He had attained supreme enlightenment. He is the Buddha. And he said, listen, friends, I have found the way to overcome old age, sickness, and death. Let me teach you, and if you listen, learn, and practice as I tell you, very soon you will know for yourselves that what I say is true. All phenomena are dependent on conditions, cause and effect. Ignorance is the root of all evil, the cause of all suffering. When it is replaced with wisdom, one realizes nirvana. Avoid all extremes, practice the middle path, the Noble Eightfold Path, which consists of perfect understanding, perfect thought, perfect speech, perfect action, perfect livelihood, perfect effort, perfect mindfulness, perfect concentration. Do no evil, do only good, purify the mind. This is a teaching of the Buddha. It's the path to enlightenment. And for the benefit of all, teach the Dharma, which is excellent in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end. Okay, so I thought I'd just recite those as poetry to you. Sorry, I stumbled a little bit. And also representing the passing away of the Buddha is the song, the Everything Song, on emptiness and impermanence, okay? Everything is like a flicker of a lamp, the life of a flower, a star at dawn, a dewdrop in the sun. Everything is like the changing of the tides, lightning in a summer cloud, a bubble in a stream, a phantom and a dream. Thus shall we think of all this fleeting world. Everything comes and goes, no space, no time, no thing knows everything. Let it go, don't hang on to the past. No one owns anything. Thus shall we think of this fleeting world. Everything is like a bubble in a stream. Everything is like a phantom and a dream. Everything is like the changing of the tides and lightning in a summer cloud. Everything is like a flicker of a lamp, the life of a flower, a star at dawn, a dewdrop in the sun. Okay, so just thought I'd recite it again for you and repeat it so that it gets computed to your memory. Okay? Remember the Dharma. So we'll continue doing what we've been doing, addressing those questions that came in over the last year or so. I've given you my Vesak message. Really, like any other special day, I just encourage you to study well, practice well, share the Dharma well, share your meritorious goodness with everything around you, everybody, just like we do in a loving kindness meditation. You start with your loved ones, and then you radiate further outwards, and so on. Okay, so we're continuing to talk kind of about the equality and equal opportunity for all is essential to a peaceful and harmonious environment. I'm just utilizing this one to cover a few different things. But I'll read it to you again, and then maybe read you the next one we work off as well, sort of introduce it to you for next week and the week after probably. And that one I'll cover the Eightfold Path, Four Noble Truths, Eightfold Path, the three higher trainings, morality, mental development, and wisdom. And kind of, it's sort of like that song I just recited to you as well, the Enlightenment and Teaching song, a part of that song, the teaching. Okay, so I thought I'd read it to you again. Hope you're not bored of it yet. You should never be bored of good words and teachings, Dharma teachings. For us all to have peaceful and harmonious homes, communities, regions, countries, and world, all people need to have equal opportunity to have access to the essentials in life, for there to be equality everywhere, all of the time. All people have the basic right to have clean air to breathe, water to drink, food to eat, and sufficient shelter to protect us from the elements. We all have the right to have equal opportunity in regards to education, medical assistance, work, transport, and the like, as well as to have freedom of thought, speech, and action. It is life that all people treasure the most. Knowing this, how can we harm each other or deprive each other of the basic and essential rights and freedoms? Inequality breeds frustration, confusion, and conflict, whilst equality breeds contentment, peace, and understanding. So let's create and maintain homes, communities, regions, countries, and a world of equality and equal opportunity for all, and a peaceful and harmonious environment for us all to live in. Excuse me. And I noticed again that I haven't got my clock counting down. Normally it comes there 10 minutes to go. So I'm just going to guess towards the end of the class when that is, and probably get cut off as I was last week. I can't actually remember what I was talking about last week. I remember actually. Was talking about the different times of existence, of things coming into existence. So the arising, the existing, then slow disintegration, sometimes quick, and then the destruction or the ceasing or passing away. And I was giving the example of a human body and got up to the first part. So we know that this body gets born. Then, of course, it exists for a while. We're healthy, young, vitality, had a lot of vitality, energy, and so on. Then as we get older or not well, then our body becomes weaker. And then, of course, we know we pass away. So the human body passes away. Of course, the mind doesn't. The mind continues, mental continuum, right up until we reach enlightenment. And then you can call it mind, or you don't have to call it mind, enlightened mind. We don't have to call it anything, actually. Even now, we don't have to call it anything. But we need these words, this language, for us to be able to understand each other at present, okay? So you can see the human body, the little baby, or first of all, the egg and the sperm coming together in contact with the consciousness from the previous life, previous existence, and then the body will grow inside the mother's womb, eventually come outside, and they're still growing until in 20s, maybe 30, something like that. And then around this period, this is sort of like the middle of the life. This is general now, of course, everybody's different. And then of course, like I said, we start to get older, start to see the differences. Of course, sometimes we like to deny it, don't we? But I actually said to Mum yesterday on Facebook, I've been sharing some memories from my last international trip, actually, from 5 years ago for Vietnam and Thailand. Actually, Thailand first, then Vietnam, then back to Thailand. And I look really young. Even though it's only 5 years ago, I look really different now. I noticed that. And I said to Mum, I was actually helping Mum do something, and we had a mirror in front of us. And so I noticed aging. I haven't got too many wrinkles there, around here maybe. definitely got this thing going on under here. Not as tight as it used to be, you know. But that's okay, as long as we're honest to ourselves, as long as we live with reality like this impermanence, you know, make use of this precious human life, practice Dharma, and then be really straightforward and honest to ourselves. Sometimes we may get shocked a little bit, you know, because we didn't think about it for a while. But then if we're honest to ourselves, then these changes, which are, you could say, unsavory in a certain sense, like all of samsara, really, actually don't affect us in such a big way. We need to be realistic. So that's what I was talking about last week when I got cut off. I got digressed. So I think maybe 5 minutes or something, maybe 4 even. So what I'll do is I'll read the next one to you, but I won't explain anything because I will go through the explanations. And I'll utilize this one, like I said, to give commentary on the Eightfold Path and so on. And also leading on to the 4 preliminary contemplations, contemplating the precious human birth, contemplating impermanence, contemplating the law of karma, and contemplating the unsatisfactory nature of cyclic existence, samsara. Okay, so that'll be the week after, though, I'd say. So every day is a good day. Every moment is a good moment, a great opportunity to practice the Buddha Dharma and bring benefit to all sentient beings. So I think we can all agree with that one. Excuse me just for a moment. If we sincerely and wholeheartedly practice Dharma, moment to moment, day to day, then every moment will be a joyful moment. Every day will be a joyful day. When we sincerely and wholeheartedly practice Dharma in this human life, our life becomes a precious human life, as we will be making the most of this rare and precious opportunity. We should constantly remind ourselves that we now possess a most valuable, priceless, and precious human birth. This will help us to maintain the inner strength, confidence, joy, and enthusiasm we need to take full advantage of this rare opportunity. We should be careful not to waste our lives by being distracted by superficial worldly concerns, so that we can emulate the great sages and masters of the past and truly believe with confidence that we can follow in their footsteps and make our lives truly meaningful and worthwhile. Okay, so maybe another couple of minutes. I don't know why, I don't know. Has your clock come up? Can you see the clock, the countdown? Yeah, oh, really? I don't know, mine not. It's okay.
You got 3 minutes.
Okay, thanks, Leanne. All right, so we'll leave that one there, like I said, for the coming weeks. I've mentioned Vesak. I also mentioned we will be talking about morality, which is the first of the 3 higher trainings. That includes right speech, action, and livelihood. Also, mental development, another way to say meditation aspect of the 3 higher trainings, which include right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration, and the wisdom, which includes right understanding and right intentions or thoughts. So the 3 higher trainings is another way to say the Eightfold Path. And this is the Buddhist path. Everything in the Dharma fits into this path. Everything fits into the 6 paramitas as well, the teachings we have had on them. Everything can fit even into the 4 immeasurables. All the Dharma is folding into each other, as it said with the Eightfold Path. So remember that, okay? Really important. Whenever you get confused in the Dharma, let's say you see some conflicting commentaries on the teaching, something like that, you're a bit confused, go back to the Eightfold Path. Go back to the 4 Noble Truths. This is the basis. They can help us to maintain the humility, the morality, all of these good qualities we need as the basis of our practice. Morality is the foundation, like the foundation of a house, you know, so it's really important that we always remind ourselves these things, okay? I don't think I need to read anymore. No, I covered everything else for that teaching. So this, the teaching will go on to, like I said, next week and onwards is number 47 out of 50. So we've got 4 more to go of these teachings. and then on to a newer subject. Okay, so don't know why I have my reading glasses on and I don't need to read. And so hopefully you have a lovely day ahead or night ahead, wherever you are in the world. Take care of yourself, study well, practice well, and share the Dharma well. I rejoice in your meritorious goodness, always. And also, even you make mistakes on the Dharma path, recognize that. And I rejoice in the fact you recognized it, and then get yourself back up onto the Dharma path. Keep going forward, forward in the right direction, not the wrong direction. Otherwise, we make things more difficult for ourselves and fool ourselves more and more, create that habit that we don't want. Okay, so happy Vesak to everybody. Happy Buddha's birthday. Happy Buddha's Enlightenment Day.